Hey. So, it's super bright in here. I have got a funny story for y'all. I do. And I gotta tell you, I don't know. I don't know that I should be telling you this. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I should be telling you this. Because of what it is and what just happened. So, I'm going to think on this for a minute. For those of you who are new, welcome. Welcome! It's project time. It's project time! I'm your host, Aradia Noire. Just call me Ray. Aradia's hand in Danae's Divine, where I create myth, magic, and meaning for your everyday life. Through art, intuition, and energy work, and every day we try to do a little bit of project time. Why? Because these projects take forever and they won't make themselves. Okay, that was my very, very bad accent. I am so sorry that you had to listen to that. So here I am. We are at row 160. Some of those are rounds, like these down here, below this little green. Bloop. But anyway, yeah, here we are. Here we are. So, thanks. I'm glad you're here. Hooray, huzzah. Ta-da! So, things that happened today. I woke up this morning to a community violation on a YouTube video that I put up, I'm pretty sure last week. And I gotta tell you, I'm really confused, okay? Because what the violation was about was completely invalid. Like, I got a violation that said I said something about something. And I didn't mention it at all in the entirety of the stream. And I'm not going to mention it in this one because this is going to go up on YouTube. And just, in the interest of not getting it flagged, because I did mention it and them saying, oh, well, you mentioned it. And you weren't supposed to. But the whole the perpendicular that we're in the middle of still, like, it's still going on, right? Yeah, that. Now, you know what that meant? That meant I had to listen to 2 hours of me talking. And bless y'all's heart if you listen to me talk. You're the real MVPs here, okay? Seriously. It was not fun to listen to the sound of my own voice for 2 hours and 3 seconds. Add that to the list of things that I don't ever want to have to do again. So here's the thing. Most people who make videos, they do one of two things. They do what I do, and they don't edit shit, right? It's whatever got recorded. That's what we're doing, right? And then you've got the people who are like polished. Now, usually the people who are doing what I'm doing are also not like professional videographers. They're not making anything for a brand. It's just like kind of this fun thing they do, and they're not aiming to ever necessarily do that. And so polishing of your videos doesn't really matter, right? Like, whatever. Unfortunately, I am technically a brand. I have a business. I actually have two. And these videos theoretically should get better and be more polished, but I am like anti-polish. I don't want to make them snazzy or fancy. I'm just gonna roll fucking low tech as hell, and we're just gonna call it good, because we're going the authenticity route, okay? So anyway, yeah. So I just finished it. I watched half of it this morning, and I made notes, because I was listening out, like, specifically for what it was dinged about, and not one mention. Not even an allusion to a mention. Like, no. Like, so this video, by the way, is still up here, and it's a stream where I'm just like, you're hanging out with me while I work, and because I had taken the time to get ready because I was trying to have lunch with Bay. It did not work out. Spoiler alert. And like, so I was like, let's not waste it. That's literally the title, right? And as of the recording of this, the broadcast of this, I don't know if it's going to be up on YouTube. Now, it's not project time. So if it doesn't make it up to YouTube, or it really doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt anything. You're not missing anything. It's literally just me, blah, 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 about what I'm doing, as one does. But what gets me is like, no, like at no point did I make any mention of fucking Voldemort. Okay? No, I didn't. So when I said this to Friend was like, how does that happen? Like, Fred was incredulous. Like, what do you mean? Oh my God, that seems to be happening a lot. And I'm like, no, it's not happening a lot. This has been happening. Like, this is a thing. Social networks and algorithms and whatnot, like, this happens all the time. And, you could be flagged. It could be something that the algorithm catches you for. It could be both. Like, there's no way to really tell because each website is different, right? And there are some websites where you put it in one place and they won't catch it. You put it somewhere else and they will. Like, but the fact of the matter is, the accusation was baseless. And I'm just like, what? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And the funny thing is if you know, like, anything about me, you know that I wouldn't say anything to the contrary anyway. Which is, like, that just makes this weirder. Which also makes me think that somebody just didn't like my content. And just decided to complain and say that that's what it was. And I'm basically getting trolled. Now, right, I told you I listened to the whole video. God, that was really uncomfortable. Like, you just don't know. I listened to the whole thing. And the only thing that I could say that they might legitimately be saying anything about is some of my phrasing. So that particular day, I had gotten next to no sleep. And I was entering this mental state of, like, incoherence. Like, I was commenting on what was actually factually going on with me. I was not giving a medical opinion or advice or anything like that. So, like, again, really fucking confused, y'all. So that was weird. And then I said something about a coworker being overworked. And that would be the second thing. That would be the only other thing that I could think somebody's wanted to misinterpret that. And that's still, both of those instances, still a gross misinterpretation of that accusation. Like, what? So here we are. Just shaking my head at the internet. As one does. So, I don't know. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because it's ridiculous. Like, it's... like, of all the people and of all the things, are y'all serious? Okay. Now, did I say fuck a lot? Oh, yeah, absolutely. 100%. I didn't count how many times I did. But, yeah. Now, the only thing I could think of, really, that would, like, make any kind of real sense was that if there is a way to report somebody, and I know, like, I haven't ever reported somebody on YouTube, so I don't know what it looks like. But across various platforms, sometimes they'll say, why are you reporting this person? Because I've reported people, like, on dating apps, for example, for hate speech, right? I have, sometimes it'll ask you, like, why, like, or like, what is the basis of, this complaint, basically. And I don't know if the panini is on that list. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me given like the state of things. Like, yeah, sure. No, it's been like a worldwide event, and it has been for a while. So yeah, no, absolutely. That makes perfect sense that that would make the list of like things that people are on the watch for. Sure. Um, but again, elephants. Yeah, no, none, Your Honor, none. So yeah, that was weird. I'm still just shaking my head over here. So like, whatever, whatever. People are funny. And that's just it. Now, the likelihood that I upset or offended somebody, oh, extremely high. Yes. I'm brash, brazen, and brusque. Yes, extremely high. And the thing with it is people who like you or support you aren't necessarily as vocal as the people who don't, right? So easily I upset someone's sensibilities, whatever. I mean, okay. Completely unrelated, picture unrelated. I love that meme. It's like a giant rooster and like a dinosaur or something. It's really, really random. Maybe it was a cowboy. I don't know. I saw it like forever ago. I thought I had a picture of it on my computer. I don't know if I still do. I bet you if you Googled picture unrelated, you probably could find a meme that like illustrated that. Not necessarily that exactly, but that concept. I mean, stuff on the internet like never dies, right? It may be hard to find, but it's probably still there. Was it the Wayback Machine? Oh yeah. So, anyway, as you can see, little teeny ball, I finally got all of those oh no scraps put together this morning. I was doing that while I was listening to it and between taking notes of what they could possibly be talking about. Yeah. Friend is puzzled. One of my art like biz humans is also puzzled about like that whole thing. It's so funny. It's so funny. I think it's funny because it's ridiculous. Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Like, okay. And like, look, I try really hard to watch my language. And I'm not talking about not saying fuck, because that is, no, that's not going anywhere. But I try very hard not to use ableist language. I try really hard not to use racist, sexist, gendered, homophobic, xenophobic, I try really hard not to. Do I do a great job all the time? Probably not. No, I'm a person, and I absolutely make mistakes. So I don't expect that I'm getting that right all the time. I also am like conscientious enough to like generally notice it and correct myself. So I think that is like kind of the important part, is that I notice without someone saying, hey, that wasn't okay. Like, I say that to myself and I correct it and try to do better, which is right. That's what you can do. I gotta tell you, I'm really upset about the amount of knots I've got going on here. Like, I'm gonna have to clean those up. I'm so mad about it. I decided what I'm going to do to clean them up is I'm going to go through this. I don't know if I'm going to block it first before I do it. I've been wondering if that's the best course of action. I've also considered felting them together, but I don't think that's a good idea, because I think that's going to mess with the integrity of the piece. And like, some of these things are right here, so like I can probably cut them down. But I want to make sure that before I do that they're like really good and like done together nicely. Do you know? Like that one, I just pulled apart. Okay. And we don't want any of that. Like I don't want any of that happening. Why is that doing that? Is it just because of the knot, or is it because of the fiber? I think it's because of the fiber. Well, that's fun. See? And this is why we took the time to look at this. I think usually this is not a problem, but I think the slickness of the fiber, because of just like what's in it, is part of the problem. And that's why we're gonna redo these knots then. Which is fine, that's not a big deal. I'm glad I noticed it now. But I can't believe that happened. Now, part of my brain is like, oh look, you're upsetting the audience, so you must be someone out. Like, right? That's the most ridiculous thing. Like when you're nobody, when you're truly nobody, right? Nobody cares what the hell you do. But when you start to be somebody, the chances of you upsetting somebody is really high. And I mean, sure, I'm streaming here. I've got a Patreon. I've got a YouTube channel. Actually, I have a couple of YouTube channels. There's things about me that probably people don't like because, I'm a human and that's a thing. Like all kinds of stuff like that. So, yeah, sure. I'm bound to... Somebody's bound to come across me who doesn't like me. I guarantee that. I'm pretty sure that I come across that at work on a daily basis. Now see, that one was fine. What is going on? I'm not the greatest with that knot. That knot is really hard to do, honestly. I don't even know what you call it. I think it's called the magic knot, but there's not a single magic knot. So, I don't know. See, that one's fine too. Wow. No, it's just me jacking it up. Okay. Okay then. All right. Latte. Sorry. Don't mind me. So this was me apparently touching stuff on my phone, and I shouldn't have done that. Now we know. Don't do that. Don't do that. Sorry. So what's gonna happen is on the recording, I'm going to splice these videos together. That's what I'm gonna do. And just upload a single video because it's silly to have a part 2 when it's literally the same video. So I do apologize. I'm sorry about that. I'm not supposed to touch my phone when I'm streaming, and I didn't listen today. I don't have my listening ears on. So, oh my gosh. Hi, friend. I don't know who you are. You're free to lurk, right? Always. Yeah, do you. But if you want to say hi, I see you. That's creepy. pardon me, I'm just laughing about the ridiculousness that is today. Oh, they've disappeared. I scared them. Or they were like, wow, this person is weird and boring. Also an option. Probably. Whoa, 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 whoa now. Whoa now. Oh my gosh. So anyway, yeah. Yeah. Let's see if I can get this stitch like tight and like leave it there. Let's see how that works. I don't know. I feel like I should be able to. It doesn't, that's not necessarily true though. Anyway, oh, that is like the weirdest thing though. This whole issue I have with YouTube. That's so weird. So weird. This is the first time I've had like an issue though where I'm like, oh no, that's not a thing. You need to calm down. Like at one point, I had some background music on, and I was not aware that the source was like, hey, you can't use this here. Like I had no idea. And the option was, well, we can mute this clip right here. Or you can like mute the whole thing or whatever. I think there might have been another option, but they were starting to get complicated. And I was like, yeah, just mute that clip. That's fine. Unfortunately, I don't think I was saying anything at the time, so it doesn't really hurt it. But yeah, since then, I pretty much haven't had music in the background because I don't know what they're going to ping and what they're not. And I had this whole conversation. So if you didn't know, sampling someone's work, you know, like using their music or their imagery or even quotes or anything like that, you know, you were eking into intellectual property. And there's a lot of stuff that's really complicated, and there's like a lot to it. And there's, you know, things that are considered public domain, and there's just, it's a lot. And I'm not even going to pretend to understand it because I don't. But there are lots of like very specific laws about it, right? And I haven't even like remotely attempted to educate myself because legalese is super complicated. And if you're not a lawyer human, it's a lot. I think I even heard a lawyer human say, yeah, no, intellectual property law and like copyright and stuff like that was like really complicated. Like if that's not what you do, even like it's complicated. And then you've got to understand that it also, different localities have different applications. So it's just a lot. And, you know, it's very confusing. And I think there's a lot of misinformation on the internet because it's the internet. So of course there's a lot of misinformation. And I don't even know, like, other than I guess looking up the legal code, which is that what that's called? I don't fucking know actually. Other than looking up like the code, I don't even know where you would find it specifically. Like, I have no idea. I'm sure there's got to be something somewhere, right? It's the internet. There's got to be something. But, oh wow, this is a mess. So anyway, like you if you use somebody else's imagery or sounds or song, like you need to have their permission. Now, where it gets sticky is, I think was like public use or public domain or something like that, where things, there's like fair use, I think is some of it. Anyway, I'm not even gonna like pretend to try and know, like, and give the impression that I know what I'm talking about because I don't. Right? Let's be real clear here. No idea. Like, it's very convoluted to me. But I know that there's different parameters and like instances and circumstances and all that. And you know, that matters because that goes into like who can use what and how and like whatnot, right? And I don't know that it's uniform for every type of thing, right? Like a book versus an image versus a song, like the actual, like the composition, like the sound, right? Versus the lyrics. Like, I don't know. And whenever you see like disclaimers, a lot of times, like, I think it's meant to like skirt around those things and say, hey, look, these are, this is separating these two entities. Like when you say something of, this person does not reflect the views of this agency, like stuff like that, which is not the same thing, but just like in general, okay, look, hey, look, we're not saying, which is kind of like, I don't know, covering your butt, which is whatever. But there's a lot of instances where sounds and songs, for example, get used and they shouldn't be. And it's just a matter of wherever it is, like if it's on a platform or a specific, places hosting it, like, are they going to catch it? Is the artist or like whoever made the stuff, are they going to catch it? Like there's all kinds of stuff like that. And it is, I guess it's, I don't even know that 50-50 is the right way to pose it, but like it all depends on like who it is. Like Disney is very, very on it with making sure people don't use their stuff, right? They're on it. They do not waste time. They do not mince words. But like Disney's a really big entity and has probably a whole legal team. Like, and they probably have, I guess, literally a set of people that's just what they do, is like look for this stuff. I don't know. It sounds like that could be what's going on. I don't know that that's what's going on, but it wouldn't shock me if it was. Okay. Like, really though. But because of that, like, that's the thing. But then there's other instances where people are using people's intellectual property. Oh my gosh. Hi. I didn't even see you there. I mean, I work in a garage. What do you want? Do you know how hard it is to scrub the oil and car grit off of my hands? Like, I have to scour my hands. Ugh. I did actually scour my skin like earlier, and oh god, it's like they have stuff. I have some special. It's not a soap, right? Soap is not the right word. But it's a solvent because science, right? I mean, they have stuff specifically for this, right? But I'm also trying not to like scrub my hands raw. Yeah, we have some called Gojo, I think it's called. Don't mind me. Hold on. I think that's what it's called. Gojo. And then I've got something else that's got another like weird name to it. I don't know what it's called. That one's not a soap per se. The one that I like to use is not a soap. It's just a solvent. So you need to use it and then rinse it off. I'm nowhere near my computer, by the way, so give me a minute to get back over there. Don't say anything horrible. Don't worry, I'll cut you if you do. I'm looking for my, what do you call it? Doodad. The doodad. I don't know where I put my charging thingy. The thingy. I feel all Ramona Flowers looking for it. There's a thingy over there. You mean a door? Whatever. First of all, not the right gender for me. Second of all, I don't prescribe to such nonsense. Also, I'm from the country and I'm a gardener. I'm used to being covered in like dirt, grime, and horse shit. So, yeah, not a problem. It's fine. I don't push the issue usually because it's just not a necessary topic for conversation. Adelaide, what did you do with my charging port? It's her. She did it. I know she did it. She's a jerk. Oh, I know where it is. I found it. Ha! See? You can tell I use it at work. I can't take anything in there. Anything. Anything at all. Unless I want it to be covered in grime. It's the worst. It's absolute worst. But yeah, no. I am not, I'm not like that about dirt. I like dirt. I don't like differential fluid, but that's because that stuff stinks. It's like I don't know what it smells like, but it's awful, whatever it is. There's another car fluid that also smells really bad. Like, it smells bad enough that if you get it on your clothes, you should just throw them away. Like, just don't even bother trying to salvage it, because you're not going to. Yeah. Most of what's on me is, I guess it's the grit. So I call this garage spice because I think it's fucking hilarious. Right. Yeah. No, we have some around the shop. I don't ever have cause to use it. But I've seen like the little jar thingy of it. Like, I've seen some red and some black. I've heard that there's blue. I don't think I've seen any in the shop though. But how you've been, other than doing a lawn stuff? Haven't seen you in a minute. I don't know. Time isn't real though. It's not real. But yeah, no, I'm used to having to crawl up under houses and in crawl spaces and deal with bugs and rodents and critters. So I'm not squeamish. I mean, are spiders my friend? They're not. Will I squeal if I see one? Probably not. But I will insist that it leave the premises because I'm not a fan. I miss being able to have a garden. I've actually been thinking about planting some marigolds. Yay! Meanwhile, friend has a treaty with the spider people. I don't. They broke the treaty, and so now they're unwelcome. In fact, I had a spider in my apartment the other day, and I was yelling at it. I'm like, you better leave me alone, because I'm just minding my business over here. I like to yell at beetles and ask them what they're doing. And so we do the bug frame thing. So every year, right, around this time of year, insects are coming out and about, right? And they're like, hey, how y'all doing? Y'all got food? So friend and I take turns sending each other pictures of bugs that we've come across. Like, not boring bugs, right? But like interesting bugs. I don't know what any of these bugs are, okay? Not an entomologist. But, whatever interesting bugs that cross our path happens. And the first interesting bug for me this year, there was a spider. There was a jumping spider. I guess that's what it was. And then the little green ones that are they're like this color green. Oh, don't mind the fuzz. But they're like that color green. And they're like kind of semi-translucent. I looked it up. I don't remember what the hell it's called. But one of those bad boys. And a fuzzy caterpillar. That was like the official first bug friend of the year. But huzzah! Yeah, so I have a dragonfly that friend got me, like a whole dragonfly. I had a praying mantis in my car once. I let her out. I was like, go on, you. I had one in my apartment or my room in a house that I shared with a bunch of people while I was in college. And that thing swooped at me, and I was like, you need to exit. Like, you don't need to be here. Like, it's great that you're here, but Be great if you left. And don't like threaten me on your way out. Be great. So here we are. Just rando. Oh my gosh. I do want to give myself a manicure. Just because I think it'll be utterly ridiculous for me to be in the back, like working on cars and whatnot, and have like French tips and just come up there and just dare somebody to fucking say something to me. Because personally, I'll think it's funny as hell. I get a kick out of it. I'm not allowed to like do anything with my nails until I can guarantee that I can keep them right now. So our longest two right there. I regularly snap my nails because I work with my hands all the time. Like cars aside, I work with my hands all the time. And so it's really difficult to keep them long. So also tap them. Oh yeah. Slammed 2 fingers in a car door last week. That was super fun. As you can see, my nail is still in my hand, but oh, buddy, does it hurt. It's smarted. Oh, I got stung by a yellow jacket yesterday. Asshole. Like, what a jerk. What a jerk. It was the worst. Yeah, so the yellow jacket, right? I'm finishing up an oil change. That's what I'm doing, right? I go to close the hood of this fucking big ass, like, what was it? It was a Yukon. Okay. I put my hand down on the hood. I start to close the hood, and all of a sudden my hand is burning. And I'm like, the car has been off for like a while. Like, why is the hood hot? No, that's not what was going on at all. I was being stung by a yellow jacket. And like, I didn't see it, but I had seen it earlier. So I knew it was there. Right. And I've been stung before, like years and years ago. And I think it was, hornets, but, ooh, buddy. Oh, that's smarted. And like Juice was like, did you kill it? And I'm like, no, because I didn't actually see it. But I know that's what it was because I saw them there earlier. Like it was buzzing around the hood like, hey, what's going on here? Do you need any help? And I was like, no, I don't. Go away. And it was like, I'll just be over here. Ready to attack you later because I'm a jerk bug. Oh, yeah. It was right there. And it was right on the joint. It was great. And by great, I mean it was friggin' awful. So like the entire day, my hand was like kind of throbbing. It was lovely. Oh my gosh. I went and told Gummy. He's like, no way. And I'm like, oh, yes way. Now I understand. I probably put my hand too close to the yellow jacket for its comfort. Zippity doo dah. My bad. Sorry, bug. Sorry. I didn't know it was there. Okay. I would have shooed it away. Because I know that if you come too close to me, I'm also probably going to make threats at you. Like, I get it. I'm a lot bigger than that bug is. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have even shooed it away. I would have just literally gone to another place in the hood. Like, you just carry on. Oh my gosh. So, by the way, we're going to stream for as long as this section allows me and my phone allows me. We're doing 20 rows, hopefully. We just finished the first section, so it's going to be 5 repeats. That's the goal. We'll see how this works out. Meanwhile, so speaking of the natives, they are restless. The change in regime at work is upsetting the peasants. They are not happy. I'll leave it at that, but disgruntled is a word, probably. Probably. Personally, I don't really care. Like, I don't have to like you to work with you. If I did, I could never work with Sunshine, which is what I get to do tomorrow. It's going to be great. And by great, I mean awful. Because I already know there's 4 tires that he's going to spend his entire shift avoiding. Like, he's going to spend his entire shift avoiding, which is going to be great. And because he's going to spend his whole shift avoiding it, there's a really good chance if Cupcake leaves, yes, so I've decided to call my boss Cupcake, and it's not complimentary. Okay. Reasons my coworkers never need to see my streams. I am talking shit about y'all. That's exactly what's happening. Honestly, this is nothing I wouldn't say to anybody's face, though. Like, for real. But I don't, like I said, I don't have to like you to work with you. I mean, I would prefer to not hate you, but, you know, most of the time I don't like my coworkers. It's a shocker that I like them, like the ones that I do. Usually I don't have an opinion on them, right? Like, whatever. Just don't make my job harder, right? That's it. That's all I ask. And I don't think that's too much. And usually the ones I can't stand, that's exactly what they do. Needless to say, Cupcake doesn't like Sunshine, which I think is kind of funny. And yet, if you were to just casually observe them and not like see any behind the scenes, I guess, Cupcake talks to Sunshine and jokes around with him. And so I guess like a cursory glance would make you think that there was no problem between the two of them. And according to Gumby, Cupcake does not like Sunshine. I think it's funny though. I make my disdain for him very clear, I think. Oh yeah, no, I've got some tea for y'all because that's the thing, right? So apparently, Sunshine complains about me all the time, which I think is funny because, bully for you, guy, about how he can do things so much better than I can. Now, Gumby tells me this because I really like honestly, I wish he would say something to me. It'd be great. I would absolutely want to have an audience for it because I'm not going to care. And I'm going to look at him like I don't care. And my reaction is probably going to not be like what he was looking for, which I'm going to delight in because I'm happy to disappoint. So anyway, yeah, there we go. Apparently Gumby's like, oh, this, when he complains about you, he says how he can do things like, oh, well, she only did this and I did this and that. And I was like, oh, it's a competition? That's funny because I don't care. And he was like, yeah. I'm like, I still get paid to be there, right? So whether I do 10 cars or 2, I still get paid to be there. My paycheck doesn't suffer at all. So, okay. Okay. That's it? That's your big claim? You, who's been doing this for 6 years, can work faster and more and do more cars than me, who's been doing it for barely 6 months? Oh, okay. What an accomplishment. Like, I'm sure that if you put him in a healthcare situation, that I could move more efficiently than he does too, because I did that for many a year. So relative? People are funny. Oh my gosh. That cracks me up. Now, I don't know what Juice has to say about this, but Gumby and I have talked about this a couple times. He's like, he's not going to say anything to you. And I'm like, I really wish he would, though. Just so I could make him feel foolish. Because I absolutely. Look, I'm an asshole. If I thought I could make him cry, I would absolutely go for it. So I'm a jerk. Look, I don't generally dislike people this much. But he's been like an utter pain in my ass. Like the entire time that I've worked there. And so I'm happy to return the favor. Oh yeah, I move at like a slow, steady pace like the whole time I'm at work. And he doesn't even do that. He will go through bursts of like actually working and just like completely dicking off. Speaking of dick off, I was in the military once upon a time. And one of these soldiers at my AIT, his last name was Dickoff. Dickhoff. And her first name was Amanda. I shit you not. That was freaking great. It's like a bad Simpsons joke. And then there was a Sergeant Slaughter, which I thought was also amazing. And there was a Sergeant Kitchen, which I thought was hilarious. I feel like there's some really bad jokes that can come out of all of those names. Even Kitchen, surprisingly. So I think I had somebody who had a crush on me. I don't know why. Poor thing. And I think they've gotten over it. Because I haven't seen them in quite some time. And that's okay. It's weird. I understand that people are lonely. I understand that. I get that. I'm lonely too. 100%. I get it. I don't think that attaching to strangers on the internet is a great idea, though. You feel me, Winter? Because, like, I can be a terrible person. I mean, I kind of am. I can be a terrible person. I did not see this getting shaped like this, by the way. I did not. Like, whatever my brain was, like, supplying me with, this was not it. I'm trying to think of what I want to do with all these little ends, because these ends are my fault. I thought about, because it is partially animal fiber, I thought about felting some of them together. I might do that anyway. Since that would be the easiest way to get around the, strangalangs. I'm thinking that might be what we do. I'm not sure. I think that whatever I do, I should do it after I block it to see if I can settle anything into the fabric where you just can't see it. I'm not hopeful that that's going to work, but we're going to try. Bags of grease. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Where are we? I wrote down the pattern. I want to freaking post it so I would stop having to have the pattern open on my computer because I was late a couple of times for project time. Because I couldn't open the pattern. And I was like, where are you? And I'm like, that's a great question. I don't know. Where's Waldo? So, turning on my heat, I think, was a bad idea. I'm now uncomfortably warm. And I can't do anything about it. Unless I want to mess up my project time count. And I don't. I've already gotten up once. Oh, good gravy. So what I should have done, really, is I should have gotten my felting needle out and felted the yarn together instead of tying it. And I did think about it, but I'd already tied several points at that point. Also, totally just a reason for me to use my needle felting stuff. 100%. Like, I need a reason. I really do need a reason, though. Needle felting is the thing I do the least of. Well, that and like Viking knit. I don't do a lot of that either. Oh no! Charger! Let's see. No, that's there. Don't mind me just making post-it notes. As one does. Now the cool thing is every 4 rows, it gets smaller. It gets smaller by 4 stitches, which is not a whole lot, but it does in fact get smaller. Look, I need you not to be a jerk. So as it goes by, it's going to be quicker and quicker. In theory. I mean, for real. It's not going to be a lot quicker, but like between the sections that I'm doing, which I'm doing 20 rows each because I wanted a nice even number, it'll be noticeably faster after a while. Gosh. So I have not loved working on double points this whole time, right? Because on my backdrop, which is what this is knit. And so what happens is it gets stuck in there. If I thought about it, I would have known that to begin with, that would be a problem. Now I do. Yay. But at this point, working on double points is great because if I had a giant circular to deal with right now, I'd be hella irritated. And it would have had to leave me either getting a smaller circular in the same size, like same size needle, or it would have meant like changing the needle altogether. Neither of which I wanted to do. This, I just literally had to move the stitches off of one of the needles. And what I did is I just didn't change the needle between the stitches. That's all I did. And that was easy enough. Because then you just slide it over. And ta-da! And the green string is our lifeline. That was fucking necessary. That was not optional. I don't know why I thought it was optional, but it wasn't. It was a really bad time because I think I tried to get a couple of rows in and oh wow, just jacked it up like royally. Like, do you know what you're doing? I do. I swear that I do. Well, it doesn't look like it. I know. I understand. It does not look like I know what I'm doing. So here we are. Why do I think it's the weekend? Winter. It's not the weekend. I feel like some terrible winter is coming joke. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Just working with what I had, okay? All of this is probably really out of context for anybody who watches this later. Probably. I was thinking, oh, did I meant to change my schedule. Is that why you showed up at 8 or around 8 or just before 8? I'm not saying you showed up here on purpose, Winter. I would never accuse you of that. That's not nice. My schedule was supposed to be 7, and I changed it apparently on some of the days. And I guess I didn't change it back. Oops. Oops and stuff. Oh my gosh. I got a nice little crowd of people though who followed me. I've seen a handful of them. I've seen Moxie, I've seen you, Cake. I actually saw someone who I've been to one of their streams. I have no idea what their name is off the top of my head. Like, my brain has decided that we don't need this knowledge, so we're not going to keep it. I'm thinking for those nights that I can't sleep, I might sneak in and do like phone game streams. That might be a thing that happens. I don't know. Now, what I will say is those streams don't go, they don't go anywhere else. Like, I've been downloading all of my streams in case I want to like ever put them up or make a compilation or anything like that. But I don't put my gaming streams up because I don't think they're anything to fucking watch. I just don't. Y'all can disagree with me, but I wouldn't watch me play games. So if you do, oh, bless your heart. Really, watching me play games is watching my compulsion to be orderly enact itself. That's what you're watching. Like, I desperately need to caramel. Oh no! Ow. I desperately need to have things organized when I play Overmerge, or I might explode. It's possible. It's totally possible. I should put all my caramels in the freezer. That's the right thing to do. Don't you love it how when you don't understand something, it's like, this is so freaking hard. But then you get it and you're like, oh, this is so much easier. That's me and that decrease right there. Like, what in the world? Why do I have so many freaking notifications right now? I really hope you can't hear all of those. If you can, I'm so sorry. You're in my ear and I'm muted on my computer watching. So I have no idea what y'all can hear and not hear. At the very least, it's Jack Skellington. So there's definitely worse sounds you could hear. Yeah, my notification is him saying, what's this? What's this? And that's Friend's fault. Because I'd be talking to Friend on the phone, cleaning, and I would find something randomly that I wasn't looking for. And that's exactly how I would like react to it. She's like, every time you do that, all I think of is Jack. And I'm like, that'd be a great notification. And she's like, it would be. And I'm like, done. And so now it's a thing. Huzzah. I think it's still too many stitches to put these all on one, but we're getting there. I'm not looking forward to blocking this. I hate blocking things. However, don't mind me being a candy monster over here. Blocking things is not an option. It is a necessity. Like, blocking is almost, it's only slightly more important than gauging. Because gauging you can sometimes get away with not doing. Blocking, if it's something that needs to be blocked, like a garment, yeah, no, you need to do that. Now, that said, do I block my socks? Oh, hell no, I just wear them. Because that'll kind of do it. Really. Wear them in real good. It kind of hurts me. Cupcake is not real. Cupcake doesn't seem to have a handle on the busyness of the store. And it shows because he doesn't seem to be able to manage when a lot of things happen. Like, I can't remember how they put this in what is it? In like job description speak, right? But what they're talking about is the ability to like manage shifting priorities per the needs of the business, right? So like you need to be able to switch gears like easily back and forth between projects and like manage them and like keep it together. And I think a lot of people aren't good at that, and it's kind of bullshit to have to be good at that because you're human, right? And I think that can become a staffing problem, like really bad. Like, oh, we want you to be able to just automatically adapt to things changing. You mean you don't have enough people to manage your workload, and so you're gonna wear me out? Cool. Like that's kind of what it comes down to. And if I feel like that is an integral part of like your job description. So here's one right here. Here's a knot. Okay, that's not going anywhere. So currently we need to test the knots because I totally had to like retie a couple knots. But I feel like if that's in your job description, then you're low-key telling me that you're gonna wear me the hell out. And like pull me in a bunch of different directions. Yeah. And that's not awesome. Like at all. That's just my experience. I'm not saying that that's, carte blanche across the board. The experience of everyone. But yeah. It's a little sus, peeps. Okay? It really is. I think friend and I, who's taking management classes as per their business degree, we're going to have a conversation about that. She's like the official business human now. Like, business goat, I need info. And she's like, okay, what? Like, I asked her what to do about my passive aggressive boss, my previous one. And I didn't take her advice because I had no intention of doing so. I'm not saying it wasn't good advice. I just didn't think it was going to actually affect any change because I've met some of the chain of command. And I don't think it's going to make a fucking difference. And based on some things that are going now that I will just keep quiet about, yes. That feels like that's the thing. Miser, do I need to get a stick and, like, poke you? You know what this needs? It needs a sharp stick. If you get that reference, you win this round. Look, I get it. You lurk. So people come in here and they lurk. It's fine. It's fine. I watched Cupcake argue with a battery today. He came up to me and he's like, hey, can you put a battery in? And I'm like, sure can't. I can help you though. Needless to say, I sat there and like watched him do it and watched him struggle with it and did not offer to help him because he didn't ask me for help. And he's already proven to me that he's not in like the habit of asking for help, and I'm not just gonna jump in because he doesn't just jump in to help anybody else. So you're on your own, guy. Now, if it was Juice or if it was Gumby, absolutely. And if it was Don, I would be like, hey, do you want some help? As it was, I saw that what he was doing was not working, and I just quietly observed. You could say I'm a jerk for doing that. You could also say that if you need help, you should ask for it. Because the thing with it is if I need help at work, I will let you know. I will absolutely let you know. I will not be shy about that. Because I'm not going to hurt myself or, like, overwork myself, you know, to prove a point. That's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. Like, no. Work smarter, not harder, peeps. Come on now. I wonder if that's like